Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to make a fluidized bed, or a K1 air diffuser. It's the thing that makes the K1 turn around and go in circles like that. So, it's going to be a really quick video. You need airline. I have a bunch of it. 4 of these guys, they're like 6 inches. Let's measure this. 6 inches. I use these ones even though they're air stones, so they diffuse the air. I'm using 3/4 inch PVC. This is an X or whatever. You're gonna need some short lengths of just 3/4 PVC as well, and 3/4 inch end caps, which yes, they're already drilled, and you're gonna have to drill them as well. So we're gonna get to that. You also gonna need some silicone. I'm using 100% silicone. You need to be sure. I use GE silicone 1 window and door, 100% silicone, 100% waterproof, whatever. You need to just make sure that it's 100% silicone and that there's no mildew recurrence or anything like that. Also, a nice piece of tile. This is a 1x1 tile. It's really dirty. We're gonna clean that up. A drill, because you're gonna need to make holes. And that's pretty much everything that we're gonna need. So first thing I'm gonna do is use some acetone, clean up this tile. It's really, really dirty. That's the first step. We're gonna get that drilled. Now for all the holes you're gonna have to drill. So first thing, I don't even know what kind of PVC they call this, but you're gonna need to drill one big hole in the middle that can fit at least 4. So it can at least fit 4 of them nicely. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut my airline right now, so that we have a decent idea of what's going on here. So I cut 4 lengths of airline right now. You need to drill this hole big enough to fit all 4 lengths. So 1, 2. So this hole is a little bit too small. You see, like they're really strenuous in there. It's hard for me to pull one. Like that's not the best. You kind of want unrestricted flow. So I'm gonna make this hole bigger. These are 1/4 inch lines. In theory, you need a 1 inch hole. You probably want a little bit smaller. You want a little bit of tension, but you don't want this much tension. It's kind of too much, you know. So you grab all 4. If you can stick them in and there's some sort of resistance, it's perfectly done. So nice and snug. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. No play whatsoever. So that's perfect. So next step, we're just gonna assemble everything. So I don't use any glue or cement to put these pieces together. Put the pieces of 3/4 PVC on, and then you put the end caps. Alright, so once you put all the caps on, link everything up, all you do is one at a time. Bring them in nice and tight. Into their hole, one at a time. And there you go. You end up like with this star. Now all you have left to do is silicone it to the tile so that you make sure it stays to the bottom. And I found this to be one of the best ways to aerate your K1. It just makes like this torpedo effect, and especially if you're using a drum, a 55-gallon drum, this is like by far the best thing you can use. I'm just gonna kick on like a bunch of silicone on there. Now that was nothing professional. Slap this on there, nice and centered. And just spread the silicone out a little. So that's looking A1 to me. Let me give you a quick measurement of the total squared length. So it's 14 inches by about 14 inches. So 14 by 14, measure that area, make sure you have it. Most people have an 18-inch aquarium at least, or sump, or this definitely fits at the bottom of a 55-gallon drum, the blue drums there. Wow, this smells like vinegar hard. Anyway, leave this to dry overnight, and by tomorrow it'll be A1. You plug this into your air filter, and you just have like this really nice torpedo effect. I'll see if I could test it out. Alright, it's been a few weeks. I'd say it's been about a week since the silicone's been drying, so it's completely dry now. I put a lot of silicone on there, so I wanted it to dry properly. So I'm going to put this in my tank right now and hook it up to my air pump so you guys can get a visual of what this is going to look like in the water. Alright, so I just put the K1 Fluidizer in the water. So I'm using like I said, it's a pretty strong air pump. It's an AP100. You definitely don't want to hook something like this to a tiny little air pump. You want something with decent force. Hook it up. That's the finished product. It's always worked really well for me, so I hope it could work really well for you guys too. I'll show you a view from the top, just so you see. This is more about my air pump, just so you see how much water is moving. And I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it kind of does like this spiraling torpedo effect, where like if you look at the top, it all spirals into one, but it almost spins onto itself and creates like a typhoon. And it's really good for the K1. It really smacks into each other, and you make sure that your K1 is constantly being fluidized. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out. If you're struggling with fluidizing your K1, you could try this out, and you're usually able to fluidize more K1 with less air using this setup. So let me know if that works out for you guys, and drop it in the comments if you think I could have done anything to make this design any better.